This report represents an unprecedented high-level breach of national security, striking directly at the very heart of Nigeria's seat of power, the ASO presidential villa. It leverages a modern threat that security forces across the globe, and particularly Nigeria's, have been urgently scrambling to counter throughout 2025. To analyze the gravity of the claim of an unknown drone hovering over the presidential villa, we must first establish the critical security context in late 2025. The presidential villa, situated near the ASO Massif, is classified as a highly restricted and strictly prohibited flight zone, often referred to in aviation and security circles as the DNP-4 restricted area. Any unauthorized aerial device, be it a commercial, hobbyist, or military drone, is absolutely forbidden from entering this heavily monitored airspace without explicit real-time security clearance. Security agencies, including the Department of State Services, DSS, the Nigerian Air Force, NAF, and the Presidential Guard Brigade, are trained and, more importantly, are expected to neutralize any unauthorized flying object immediately, with a shoot-down order almost certainly in permanent effect. Reports from late 2025, following a major security directive from President Tinubu in July 2025, confirmed that security has been significantly heightened across Abuja, with enhanced surveillance at all borders, and that the service chiefs themselves have approved joint military and police operations to eliminate criminal activities, especially in vulnerable areas. The NAF, in particular, has been focused throughout 2025 on upgrading its air defense capabilities, graduating specialized personnel trained on anti-unmanned aerial vehicle (UAV) radar systems as recently as October 2025 to boost its ability to detect these low, slow, and small targets. The key word in the headline is panic. The actual or rumored presence of an unknown drone in this critically restricted zone would not just be a minor infraction, it would be a massive psychological, technological, and operational failure of the national security architecture. The panic would stem from two core terrifying fears. Firstly, the fear of assassination or attack. Non-state actors, including terrorist groups like ISWAP, have demonstrated throughout 2025, especially in the Northeast, that they possess the capability to deploy commercial, off-the-shelf drones for reconnaissance and even for attack missions using crude, easily manufactured explosives. An unknown drone over the seat of government, especially one capable of penetrating the highly sophisticated electronic and physical defenses of the villa, suggests a direct, imminent threat to the president, the vice president, and all top government officials, resident or working in the three-armed zone. Secondly, the fear of intelligence gathering and espionage. Even if the drone is unarmed, its mission could be far more strategic: to conduct detailed aerial surveillance, gathering high-resolution imagery to map out the president's residence, the location of security patrols, entry and exit points, and the living quarters of key staff. This highly sensitive intelligence would be invaluable to any group planning a future, more coordinated and possibly devastating attack on the leadership structure. If this news proves to be speculative, it still speaks volumes about the nation's underlying anxiety regarding security vulnerabilities. Since 2024, the Nigerian government has been urgently working on a framework to regulate drone use, recognizing the dual nature of the technology. The failure of military counter-terrorism efforts in other regions, which were often hampered by militant groups using drones to coordinate ambushes, has pushed the Ministry of Defense and the military to invest heavily in advanced surveillance and counter-drone technologies throughout 2025, with plans to induct more specialized aircraft and systems. The implication of the headline, even as speculation, is that for all the investment, the NAF's commitment to achieving 90% serviceability by the end of 2025, and all the security meetings President Tinubu held with the service chiefs and the DSS Director General in November 2025, a simple non-state actor drone was able to mock the nation's meticulously designed defenses. The gist is that the headline perfectly captures the pervasive sense of vulnerability felt by the populace, who reasoned that if the presidential villa, the single most protected space in the entire country, can be breached by a sophisticated modern threat, then no Nigerian citizen is truly safe. The government's response, if a sighting were confirmed, would be immediate, multi-agency, and severe. security forces would activate a full-spectrum anti-drone protocol, likely involving the immediate deployment of electronic jamming devices to seize control, physical tracking, and the possible use of sophisticated counter-drone nets or lasers to bring the object down safely for forensic analysis. Crucially, the military and intelligence agencies would launch an immediate, massive manhunt for the drone pilot and the ground control station, as that is the only way to uncover the identity, the motive, and the funding behind the group responsible for the breach. This incident, whether confirmed or a very strong rumor, will inevitably trigger a new, immediate round of security overhauls, forcing the National Assembly and the executive to allocate significantly more funds for sophisticated anti-UAS technology and demand immediate accountability from the commanders responsible for the villa's airspace security. This story of the unknown drone hovering over the presidential villa is an urgent and powerful reminder that Nigeria's security challenges are no longer confined to the remote forests of the Northwest or the rural communities of the Middle Belt. They have become modern, asymmetrical, and capable of reaching the highest levels of government. It underscores the critical need for continuous technological adaptation and absolute operational vigilance. If you are deeply concerned about this potential breach of national security and you demand to see immediate, definite action and full accountability, please do hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for continuous, impartial coverage of this developing story. We want to hear from you. Given the existing anti-drone capabilities and a huge security presence, what does a drone sighting over the presidential villa tell you about the effectiveness of Nigeria's current security cordon? Share your informed opinion in the comments below.